Hi, welcome to a bathtub tutorial. You know that tutorials coming from a bathtub, they're the best ones.
And I think it probably makes sense to...
In this tutorial we're going to learn how to make a 3D video with a minidv camera from 2004 or... No, not really. So you know, some might say that limitations can often boost creativity, and when you find yourself in a project that has either budget limitations or time limitations or whatever, you know, that this can help to make the project better sometimes, you know. I'll tell you the story of this project. It went a little bit like this. So I was in Mallorca.
Yeah,
I have this friend of mine that has a really good band. They play shoegaze metal.
The key and the lock, the first mention of love, and the heart it unlocks.
And they are really, really good. So we decided to make a music video. However, we didn't have that much time to do it. The band had a few ideas for the music video. A person running across a field with a flashlight. Light reflection effects with a mirror. He also wanted the singer of the band to be hanging off the window of a car. You know, just make this kind of like shoegazy, retro, vintage type video, you know. And he also really likes the night shot. The night shot feature is a feature that cameras from the 90s and the 2000s used to have. It was this little switch that you would turn on, and then it would remove like a little filter from in front of the sensor, and it would turn on a little infrared light in front of the camera, allowing you to see in the dark, basically. It kind of retains colors, but it's very washed out, and it has like a bit of a diffused look to it. It has a very particular look, so we chose to make the music video using this. I was in Mallorca already doing a few different projects, so I didn't have any space on my hard drives. You know, when you want to use one of these older cameras, you want to be careful. Video headers can go wrong. And even if you buy a brand new camera in box, it will still be at least 20 years old. So things like rubber inside the camera or different materials might just get degraded over time. So if you want to use one of these older cameras in like a serious shoot, you want to be using some sort of like a digital backup, you know. Like some kind of little box that would record to an SD card, or preferably the best way to do it would be to use a Ninja, and you're recording something like ProRes straight into an SSD coming out of a tape camera from 15 years ago. It's completely overkill, but at least you are sure that the footage that you capture, it's captured, you know. This video had to happen the very last day I was in Mallorca, and the day after that I was supposed to take an airplane back to Vietnam. I could have spent all night emptying one of the SSDs to put it on the Ninja and record it with the Ninja. So, well, I decided to trust the camera. That was definitely a mistake. These type of cameras are really great for behind the scenes because they have a particular look. They are easy to use, everybody knows them, and everybody loves to use them. So it's really good to just put it up somewhere and tell everybody like, hey, pick up the camera, go record something, whatever. And we did so with that same camera. It worked fine. And during the shoot, everything seemed to be fine. And then around halfway around the shoot, I got a few little problems.
No, God!
Video head dirty, you know, typical.
No, God, please!
I had a cleaning cassette, so I put it in, cleaned the header, and then it worked again. Of course, I didn't just trust it. I did rewind at least twice, and it recorded so far. Normally, when minidv cameras do not work properly, they will either give you like a just lines, or they will straight up not record. But that camera was recording.
No.
Thankfully, I had this exact same camera taking some backup shots, and thankfully we did save around 60% of the footage.
Muévete un poquito ahora, que antes más aburrido.
You can see the take starting fine, and as it progresses, it's like degrading. I've never really seen this kind of fault before. It's kind of interesting if done on purpose. That's okay, you know, like that you cannot achieve everything the way you planned it in the beginning doesn't mean that you cannot do a good project. There's so many different ways to tell the same story, so many different ways to visualize the same story. So I decided to not look at the footage and for about a month to think about it. So I chose to go full on 3D.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I made this 3D room and placed a lot of mirrors in it. The lyrics are talking about someone being on the edge, so I thought making a room full of mirrors with like broken bits of mirror everywhere, and it's kind of like it belongs to the room of someone that has lost their mind for some reason. It's kind of like a frozen instant in time. We don't really know what happened in that room, what just happened. There's a cigarette that's just been lit up. Frozen in time, but moving forward in a way. We can see a projector sort of like projecting a bit of a broken film. I also wanted to have a little bit of chaos with lighting and the projector going all wild, kind of like it looks like it blows up with light and so on. So minidv cameras are famous for having pretty bad dynamic range. As you know, they will overexpose really quickly and shadows will just be black, like. I'm guessing it's 7 stops at best. What would happen if we do the lighting of the 3D space using the footage of the minidv camera? I wanted to do something more with it.
Another one.
What about we make it also a one-shot?
Another one.
And all of the reflections in the mirror cannot be seen through the camera.
Another one.
To create the lighting in the room, what I did is edit the music video in a way that all of the beats in the song are like a brightness beat, basically. Like you can see the whole music video gets brighter on every beat of the song. First, I edit the actual music video with whatever footage I had, which is this. This is how the music video looks like. And then I took that edit and I made like a little frame around it that replicates kind of like a film strip going through a projector or a film camera or something like that.
𝒄𝒖𝒍𝒐𝒍𝒐𝒘.
It's obviously wonky and it's not realistic. It's more artistic, right? But it's better than having just like a floating square that you can see through the mirrors. I thought it would be kind of pleasing to see the little holes moving, all the punch holes of the film moving, right? Once I had that, I created the room and then I placed all of the mirrors. I decided where the camera would go through, more or less. I only tried to really emphasize the parts where you can see the actual music video through the mirror at the right times. So this way, kind of like the camera one shot, the path, sort of follows the rhythm of the song, right? When the sun goes down, camera's going down, sun's going up, camera's going up, things like that. So once I had all of the blocking done, I went on to the heavier things, such as, for example, the broken mirror bits on the floor. To do that, I took a bunch of mirrors, I broke them, and I smashed them. Using a little physics simulation, a rigid body simulation, you can make the mirror fall down exactly as it would do in real life, or at least kind of close. Once the materials were done, that was the time to check the lighting. I had to re-edit the music video a few times just to get the timings and the beats of light right at the right time where I wanted them. That's the whole procedure. Once I had all of that in place, it was just a matter of rendering, and it took about 2 weeks to render on a 3090. That was a pretty hefty render, but totally worth it. And after the video was rendered, I moved on to compositing. I rendered the video into separate layers like diffuse layer, glossiness layer, transmission layer, and more. And then I applied like a little bit of a halation filter on top of the glossiness layer. And this music video is a good example of one of those shoots that it doesn't go exactly your way. Of course, this shouldn't happen with like a paying client, a commercial client, or something like that has like a deadline and very specific requirements. In those cases, you should back yourself up. But if this is a project that you're doing more for the art than for the money, let's just say budget is not that high in the first place, then you just make do with what you got, and you always can find some better or more creative way to tell the same story. To be completely realistic, it's very rare for a shoot to go exactly as you plan it. No matter how much money you spend on it, there's always going to be so many different variables, like human variables, technical variables, weather variables, and so many other things that are completely out of your control more often than not. Before I finish with this video, please take a time to like this video and subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to make this a music video filmmaking channel, where you will find music videos, behind the scenes of those same music videos, and I also make interviews with other film directors that make music videos, and I ask them about their creative process, how do they work, and sometimes we also provide some really interesting advice for bands to be effective when making music videos. Above all, it must be said that the trust that the band put in me to make this music video is one of the things that helped me make this music video what it is. Because if they didn't trust me in the first place, I would have probably just made a a minidv video cut, I would have thrown a few filters on it and called it a day, right? When a band trusts a director, then the director is capable of pushing the envelope a little bit, do the kinds of things that would be very complicated otherwise. So I want to thank Rodrigo, Daniel and Eduardo for being the most amazing people to make a music video with. Don't forget to go watch the MV, link is below, and also go follow the band, they are new and you would really help them.